Okay, y'all. So I've been hearing about on social media. My friend asked me today, did I listen to Baby album and how do I feel about it? And I did just give it a listen. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I listened to some of it, and I feel like I know why a lot of people is disappointed in the album. I am such a big Baby fan. He's literally in my top five of like best rappers for me. Like his last project was so good. So I am sort of kind of disappointed, but I figured out why we're not enjoying his music anymore. It's like a lot of people in this world cannot relate to that type of rap anymore. Like the rap about money, cars, and hoes, it's not of substance. And a lot of Baby's core fans, we've gotten older. So it's like the things we used to bump when we just was in a trap house smoking, or like the things we used to bump when we just like, at parties or just hanging out with our friends is not what we want to hear anymore. You understand? And it's like I keep telling people everything is spiritual, bro. Like the more you understand a lot of things is spiritual, the better you can live this world. And it's like when I'm hearing his album, it sound like it's dead, it's dark. There's no life in the music. And it's like a lot of times these artists don't understand like the pain music when they first came out is always gonna hit because a lot of people are still in the cycle of trying to get out the hood. A lot of people are still in the trenches, so we could relate to that shit because we like, yo, we trying to hustle out. That's how Meek became so famous, because Meek literally spoke for all the trench babies, all the hoodlums, all the hustlers. He spoke for them. You feel me? So at that time, we jacked his music because we like, yo, we on the same type of ride as you. And then it's the high frequency music that I feel like Baby and a lot of these artists are not getting to. Like the high frequency music when you talking about, like how you made it out, but what's your transition now? Are you into God now? Like what are the big things you're doing? Are you investing? Like tell us more of when you get to the top, what's the best kind of ways of doing things. Like one thing about Jay-Z that I love is like every time he does music now, he talks about free game of wealth, free game of like when you get to the top, who to really mess with, free game of like investments, shit like that. We want to hear shit like that. And these artists, a lot of these artists just stay in this middle ground where it's like they're very successful, they have the money, they have the access, but you could hear in their music they're not happy. And I think it's a learning lesson for people in general, because it's like, yes, when you make it out, that hunger to survive and to get out is what will fuel you, you understand, based on like your consistency, your drive, and your music. But when you get out, it's now start to become an inner thing. You have to now change your inner dynamic with yourself. Because if you don't change the inner, it's not going to reflect the outer. You're just still going to be dark. You're not going to know what to do. Like, Baby sounds very much unsatisfied, but we're expecting more from him because we're like, well, nigga, you're famous. But a lot of these famous people aren't happy because they don't do the inner work. They get the riches, the fame, the fortune, they get the access, but it's like when they get there, they get bored because they don't know like what else. You understand? And it's like at that point you have to transition 100% yourself. Like even Kanye did it. Kanye went to gospel music because Kanye hit his highest frequency, understood what was going on, and said, what's more than me is God at this point. And he made a gospel album. And I think Baby just needs to speak about like, or go on a whole transition and then come back and give us some positive frequency music. We are no longer connecting to the darkness of this music. Like, we tired of hearing that. And that's another thing. And that's why I feel like, Meek is a little bit stuck. But Meek stamped himself as the hood voice in general, because we know him to be like the voice of the struggle. He gonna put that power and that pain in his music. But at a point, everybody like, yo, Meek, what the fuck? Like, we don't like what y'all hear. We don't like what we hearing from you. So I just think that Baby is unsatisfied. He sounds bored. He sounds like, what next? And he just needs to go on an inner journey of himself and give us a new version of him, because it's definitely feasible, but he just got to do that work.